No amount of vowels can make these fails any better. Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 cringiest Wheel of Fortune moments.
Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa.
No, that is not correct.
That means we're looking at all awkward instances from Wheel that hurt the most to watch. We're basing our choices on a mix of obvious answers, baffling decisions, and pronunciations that just sound weird. All right, let's spin the wheel. Number 10, Bridal and Gold Shower. To say this guest took the audience by surprise is an understatement. Contestant Melanie was one letter away from solving a puzzle in the same name category. To many, the answer would have been obvious.
I'd like to solve
Okay.
bridal and gold shower.
Unfortunately for Melanie, it was not. The correct answer was actually bridal and cold shower.
I'd like to solve
Okay.
bridal and cold shower.
Yeah, that's
Interestingly enough, it turns out that a gold shower is actually a real thing. Also known as a golden shower, the term refers to a particular fetish that we don't even want to begin explaining. Host Pat Sajak has heard his fair share of R-rated puzzle guesses, but this one left him dumbfounded.
we'll be back with more wheel right after this.
Number 9, boozing my shore excursion.
M.
Yes, there is an M.
After a long back and forth on a regular clue, Rachel had only 2 letters missing. As the question was, what are you doing? The answer was supposed to be booking. Rachel appeared to get too into the vacation theme of the puzzle and went in a more intoxicated direction.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Okay.
Boozing my shore excursion.
No.
The mistake was brutal as it could have been the answer. But it was worse to watch since it gave her competitors only one possible solution.
Booking my shore excursion.
Yeah, that's it.
Plus, the fact that this was a prize puzzle only made her loss more cringe-inducing. Since Wheel of Fortune has stayed away from less PG answers like Rachel's, the alcoholic choice played off like a bad Freudian slip. Number 8, 3 mistakes. Kevin was constantly in the right position during each puzzle for his run on Wheel of Fortune. When he should have said elevated, he dropped a sentence that made no sense instead.
Elevator, train, platform.
That is not correct.
This honest slip-up gave his opponent the obvious answer they needed. Kevin sadly flopped on dancing, even when the letters didn't add up.
I'd like to solve.
Go ahead.
Dangling on Air Jordan.
No, that is not correct.
But it was his third incorrect guess on a butterscotch treat that would cement the tragedy of Kevin's game of near misses.
And then you'll have 3 seconds to solve this puzzle.
Butterscotch candies.
No?
He gave all his puzzles away just when they were in reach. And worse, he always cleared up after any alternate guesses. Together, this triple shot added up to a run so bad that Pat Sajak had to joke about it.
Well, the good news is you won $8,750. The bad news is we're giving it to Kevin. No, I'm teasing.
Number 7, fish love. For a quick toss-up, Edgar was faced with a puzzle that was supposed to say wish list. But Edgar threw a curveball when he gave a more aquatic answer.
Edgar.
Fish love?
Though the letters could have worked, this choice was so weird that Edgar realized his mistake instantly. And there was no way Sajak wasn't going to poke some fun at him either.
You know, sometimes the acoustics are bad, and I thought I heard you say fish love.
Nonetheless, he made it to the final puzzle and won an extra $30,000. To top it off, the producers gave Edgar one final laugh when they threw fish love back on the board. Edgar left the producers with classic material by simply ignoring the common phrases the game usually featured.
We like you so much, we have a special prize for you. There it is, right up there. Congratulations.
Number 6, a group of pill pushers. Wheel of Fortune is a family-friendly show, though Joe seemed to forget that when he focused his guess on narcotics.
A group of pill pushers?
Joe's choice is so against the show's primetime restrictions that Pat Sajak immediately scolds him for it.
This is Wheel of Fortune, Joe!
It was more painful since Joe had just confirmed the 2 P's he would have needed weren't there. His opponent hysterically messed up too, though admittedly to a less scandalous degree.
A group of will wishes.
And the added irony that the actual answer was about well-wishers was just too rich to ignore. At least Joe was embarrassed quickly enough to acknowledge his error. Number 5, I Have the Wine by Johnny Cash. When Natasha put a J on the board, it was pretty clear that her musical clue was about Johnny Cash. The song was apparently less obvious, as she added drinks to the title instead.
I have The Wine by Johnny Cash.
Natasha's flub looked bad considering she knew about Cash, but not one of his most famous tracks. Besides, the H's and E's needed were already out of play in the puzzle. Sadly, Natasha also slipped up during a jackpot spin, which would have earned her $9,000 and essentially a win for the night. Natasha's bizarre response made such a great parody title, however, that fans have remade the song in her honor. Number 4, Self-Potato. Lolita Macaulay buzzed in for a toss-up, and all she had to say was self-portrait. Her actual answer was much more starchy, as she created a wacky new sentence on the fly.
Lolita.
Oh, self-potato? Sorry.
No.
Lolita was so evidently embarrassed that she apologized immediately, and she laughably joked about walking off the show to save face.
Don't you worry about it. And believe me, that's not even in the top 10 of things that have come out of people's mouths.
Self-potato was so unusual that Pat Sajak and the other contestants were still laughing as the puzzle wrapped up.
I was so distracted by a side dish, I completely forgot.
Macaulay later said that she knew the answer, but the adrenaline of buzzing in on a toss-up caused her mind to blank. So while she lost the money, Lolita did give audiences an iconic wheel fail. Number 3, Venice, Paris, France.
Gondola ride through Venice!
Yeah!
David and Carrie had spelled out their prize puzzle and won, with Venice mentioned in the clue. So when Pat Sajak asked them what country their trip was to, it was weird to hear a city, let alone a French one.
What country do you think we're sending you to?
Paris.
Though the crowd was still laughing, David followed up with a country, but still not the right one.
France.
The brain lock looked so awkward that Carrie worriedly asked if they still got the vacation. After the mounting comedy, it was satisfying to finally hear Italy. Plus, it was just too perfect that Sajak quizzed the one couple who didn't know about Venice.
Yeah, we're sending you to Italy!
Number 2, Magic Jand. Zach's run on a college episode of Wheel got him to the final puzzle, where he guessed all the right letters. It was just enough to leave him unsure what his magic item was, however. So he went through the whole alphabet.
Jan, sand, van, can, jan, pans, fan, band, wand, wand, oh!
Since the wrong sound was stuck in his brain, he managed to try Magic Jand of all things. It was unbearably difficult to swallow when he finally got wand, but the buzzer had already gone off.
And looks so Andy.
I'm sorry, you had that sound in your mind.
I did.
I'm sorry you fooled me with that one.
The pressure got the best of Zach, and the regret was all over his face. If only he'd started at the end of the alphabet instead.
Well, on the one hand, you have there's consolation. On the other hand, he won $19,950. Very nice job, Zach. Thank you.
I know we all know this because I have giggled my way through one too many game show fails lists, but I love these so much. And I can really relate to that last one, and I cannot even imagine how bad he must have felt getting it right after the buzzer. Anyway, our number 1, well, it's embarrassing. So let's look through the honorable mentions, and then we'll see what our most cringy Wheel of Fortune moment is.
Oh, you're out of it now for the ladies? Okay, Linda.
An ugly child?
No, Dale, it's your...
We'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Superman and Spider-Woman.
No, that is not...
Wonder Woman.
Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa.
No. George, you want to try this?
I'm trying to solve it, Pat.
Yeah.
Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa.
There you go.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, mythological hero Achilles.
Let's spin, Pat.
Julian laid out every letter on the board and had set himself up with several $1,000s. Sadly, he didn't seem to know how to say Achilles and read the word phonetically.
I solved.
Oh, well, that'd be a good idea, yeah.
Mythological hero Achilles.
We can't accept that.
Okay.
Since he ruined the pronunciation, the rule stated that he was wrong. This technicality has been used so rarely, so it was just devastating that it happened to someone who already spelled out the answer. On top of all the money lost, Julian also missed out on a chance to play his $1 million wedge. And his opponent earned so little on winning in his place that they had to bump her prize up to $1,000. The lesson here was definitely learn your pronunciation.
Okay, just go with the name, and even though the letters are up there.
I watched that episode when it aired, and it was just like, oof. Also, kind of a bad ad for that guy's college? I don't know. Anyway, which wheel moment do you think is the cringiest? Let us know in the comments, or come tell me on my YouTube channel, or on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Brayton. Also, please watch this other video.